Okay, so I wanted to talk about in this training what everybody is, the gurus are talking about, using Reels, even Facebook and Instagram wants you to use Reels. The whole concept of Reels is what TikTok is based upon, and even the Facebook marketplace. Like, should you be chasing that brass ring and going after that? Well, one thing I want to say is very clear. You've got to pick a few ways of building your business and really drive it home and not get distracted on every new shiny thing that you are seeing come along your way. And what I decided, or what I've, my point is, I think any way that you truly want to build your business, it will work, providing a few things. And most of you don't have these few things. And that's why I'm going to kick your butt a little bit here. The first thing is focus. If you are focused and you're picking 2 to 3 different ways to build your business and find prospects, and you do those things every day, day in, day out, day in, day out, despite distractions, despite having to run your kid to the doctor to go, get a cough looked at, despite, oh, my water tank broke in the basement, despite anything that you normally would think was a priority in your life, in order to get your business rocking in momentum, you have to have the focus. And then the second thing that most people don't have is consistency. Even when the evidence will appear that it's not working, you've got to keep doing it, at least for a while. I mean, sometimes it's insanity to keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. But if you're doing it correctly, then sometimes it takes 90 days. You've got to try something for 90 days and do it focused and consistent so that you know if that is going to be something that works or not. And most people try it 2 or 3 times and they think, there's a tea leaf in there. They think, oh, this doesn't work for me. And then they quit, when really it needed more time. And if you get some results based off of what you're doing, more time is going to fill in your pipeline. And also, you're going to get better and you're going to hone in your skills. And then if you want more results, you just double, triple, quadruple your effort to yield double, triple, quadruple that result, if that makes sense. So it's really, really important that you have the consistency and the focus. Now, should you be doing Reels and TikTok and Marketplace and that type of stuff? If you're good at it and you love it, yes, why not? And if you're getting results, that's the number one thing. A lot of people I know are spending hours and hours and hours and hours a day on creating content, posting content, and yada, 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 and they're not getting any result as a direct result, no pun intended, to that effort. So if you're getting prospects reaching out to you, you're doing some enrollments every week, then you're on the right track. Now, you can turbocharge what you do by running ads. I haven't run TikTok ads yet, and I probably should, but I need to get over there and get to do some of that, because you can turbocharge your Reels on Facebook by using ads. I'm a huge advocate of ads, and I think ads will, people, you've got to understand, you're going to pay in your business just like we pay with horses. So I'm an equestrian. I'm wearing my little horse shirt today. If you can't see this, you're just listening to an audio, but wearing my little horse shirt. And I just saw a post today by a gal, and she said, It was so cool. Actually, I could read it for you. And I think about this a lot, where with horses, we either pay for it in one of two different ways. We pay for horses either when they are born, we'll buy a good bloodline of a horse, and you'll pay some good money for that. But in the longer term, you have to really have a high dollar, high performance horse. You have to invest one of two things. One is you buy one that's already done, and it may be $50,000, $60,000 or more, or you have to make one, which means you need to put in typically about $12,000 to $15,000 of training a year, not including your competing and stuff like that, 4 or 5 to 6 years. Sometimes it's 3 years, 2 years, depending on, of course there's variables, but you've got to, or if you train them yourself, you got to put in the time, which could be even longer if you're not a professional to get to that point. So you either have to pay with time or money. And I found that post that Shelby wrote about horses. She says a quote here, well, I won't buy that weanling for that. A weanling is a baby horse, in case you don't know. She says, well, then breed your own. I won't buy that 2-year-old for that. Mind you, we're still talking about horses. Then breed your own and raise it for 2 years. I won't buy that broke horse for that. Broke means trained. Well, then breed your own, raise it, and pay a trainer yourself. Again, for the people in the back, then make one yourself. Your lack of budgeting is no longer anyone else's problem. The horse market has finally been profitable to make nice horses. And if you don't support that, then you support garbage markets that lead to the reduction of quality horses that are made in an influx of low quality hitting slaughter pipelines. Quality breeders are finally getting their dues. And yeah, that's about horses, but it's exactly relatable to your business, because you either have to pay when it comes to getting a massive momentum of leads. You either have to pay through time in sourcing your own leads, which I did for many years. I did 2 to 3 events a week to find new people. And so I did, oh my gosh, I did classes and workshops, dog training studios, horse barns, libraries, any organization that would let me come and speak, I would do that. I would spend on average $1,000 for a vendor event, at least maybe anywhere from 2 to 4 times a month, almost every weekend. That's not including hotel and travel. But the problem was that it looked like I had these little tiny bills. So on average, I was spending about $3,000 a month going and finding my own prospects, let alone the time it took me to drive and get from point A to point B, and the toll it took on my health, my relationships, my vehicle, driving like hundreds of thousands of miles. And then on the other side of that, it earned me 6 figures in network marketing and it worked. But the reason why I love ads, whether you're running a basic lead ad or you're running an ad to a reel or an engagement ad, is you get a lot more exposure faster. And you, instead of using time and grind, you're leveraging your budget. And you can also use other people's budgets and other people's money to get your business off the ground, hence through leveraging credit or a business loan. And you could take what would normally be about 5 years of grinding, and doing all the things with your time, or you can compress that time into a year or less, usually about a year, to get that momentum through ads and compress that time to a fraction. And it's the same like the horse. You either pay for it with time or you pay for it with money. And I think personally, time is more valuable than money, because when a second of your life goes by, you can't get it back. It's gone. Even since you started listening to me here, the time that you've spent listening to me, I'm hoping is of value, because the time you spent listening to me, you can never get back, but you can always get money back. And I feel when I make decisions now in my life, I look at what is the time going to cost me versus how much money is it going to cost me. If I can pay for something that's going to compress the time and make things go faster, I will, because I'll get a faster return. And it's the same with these ads. You know, if you're going to do reels and you're going to do them on Instagram or Facebook, or you decide to go over to TikTok and do them, because I tell you, if you can run ads on Facebook, you can do them on TikTok. You could do those, but if you want them to go and grow organically, you need to be creating content every single day, consistent, 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 consistent. When you don't want to do it, it's got to be consistent. When you don't see any response, you still got to do it. You still got to be consistent. And it may take you 3 to 5 years to get that big authority following, or you can do ads. You spend the money now, you invest now, but you compress your time and you get faster results. I'd prefer option B, okay, with the ads, but that's up to you. Now, marketplace, I will tell you on Facebook, I'm not sure about that strategy, to be honest, because a lot of companies don't want you to be doing that. So first, you got to make sure you're within compliance with your company. Very, very important. I think back to the old days of Craigslist, when people used to post on Craigslist and sell stuff there and enroll people. It was a viable strategy. People did it and they grew for that. But is it the best way to use your time? If you're getting results, it is. And if you're doing it every day, consistently, consistent effort, consistent with your the quality of what you're putting out there, it may work. I know people are in marketplace selling and retailing their products. If that's working, it's within compliance of your company, you could do that. It may take longer, but it may not, depending on how much time and effort you're putting in. My whole point in saying is, what can you do every day consistently to bring you the best return? And what can you stay focused on and be consistent? Because those are the most important things that are going to generate your success. You've got to be showing up in your business. I can't tell you how many people book appointments with us that the reasoning for doing this business is huge. And they want to speak to us about their business, but then they don't show up to a phone call. And I literally think of thousands of reasons why they couldn't have shown up, but it ultimately comes down to this business is not their priority, or they've got fear of failure, which it could be both, right? But I tell you, network marketing is going to throw all your fear and all your concerns right in your face. And the people that go to the top and get into 6 figures, 7 figures, they are the ones that said, screw you, fear, and screw you, distractions. I'm going to be focused and consistent every single day. Even when you're sick, or someone dies in your family, or your house burns down. Hopefully that will not happen. But I'm just trying to really magnify some tragedy type of things. You have to find a way to still leverage and do things to build every day. I can't tell you how many times I hear from people, I'm going to start later, or I'm going to join the business when this happens, or now's not a good time. When is there a good time? There's never a good time. It's just like when people decide to have a baby. Is it a good time? It usually never is. So you've got to stay focused. You got to stay committed. And whether you decide to do Reels or TikTok or Facebook ads or vendor events, reach out to whatever it is you're doing, you've got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And if you're not getting the results after 90 days, and if you're not seeing any results within a month, then you might need some new training, you need some skill work. But if you're starting to see some results, you're going to need 60 to 90 days of full force pedal to the floor to know what your real result is. Again, consistency and focus are the two biggest things. You've got to show up. You've got to get trained. You've got to become a skilled professional of this business if you want to make professional money. I need to repeat that for those of you in the back. If you want to make a professional income, 60,000, 70,000, 100,000 or more, you've got to become a professional of this industry, which means your skill needs to be there and your mental outlook, your personal growth, they call. But I kind of don't like always using that because people think like reading Think and Grow Rich 100 times is going to give them that. And when you are, and I think that personal growth is really about letting go of the fear and believing in yourself, and then not putting yourself first all the time, serving others. I mean, these are some of the macro concepts of personal growth. But when you're consistent and you're walking in faith and you're doing the things every day to meet new people, whether you're doing TikTok, Facebook ads, Reels, like I said, vendor events like I did, could be standing on the corner selling lemonade, which is from your MLM. I've seen weight loss lemonade MLMs. If it's working, you do it. If it's not working, you need to reevaluate. Okay. So should you be doing these things? If you're getting results and you can stay consistent, that's the answer. If you don't, you're not going to get any result no matter what you do. If you're not focused and you're not staying consistent, the best strategy in the world is not going to work for you. I could teach someone how to run Facebook ads where they're going to get 10 new leads a day, fresh leads with name, phone number, and email. And if that person doesn't work the leads and follow up and work on their closing skills, it's not going to matter because they're not here. They're not being consistent. They're not taking the action. So you could literally have the pot of gold sitting in front of you. It's just a matter of how you're going to maximize that. Are you going to stay consistent and focused? Are you going to show up? Are you going to be committed to your success? Are you going to do what it takes to get the skills and become the leader that people are going to want to follow? Is really the question. So I'm going to leave you with that because I think my voice is on a timer here and I don't want to frog out and totally lose it. So I appreciate you listening. And like I said, I apologize for a little delay in training because of this thing, but it won't stop me. I easily could have canceled this today. Unfortunately, I had to do this. I had to cancel my last week's training. I literally had no voice. I couldn't even speak, but I did post. If you look in the Facebook group, the Facebook ads for MLM leaders, here, you will notice I posted almost every day because I couldn't talk, right? You've got to show up. You've got to be consistent. So we'll see you guys next week. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful week and stay tuned. We'll see you on the flip side, everybody. Bye-bye.